others hurt in this vehicle crash. Good evening, everybody. You're watching LA Live News Tonight. I'm Marla Tejas.
Thanks for being with us. I'm Christine Devine. A deadly crash in Colorado involving that girls hockey team from Santa Clarita.
The driver of the van was killed. 8 people were injured this morning on Interstate 70 in Silverthorne. This is about an hour west of Denver. Fox 11's Laura Diaz, she's live for us tonight in Santa Clarita with reaction from friends in the community. Laura?
Yes, Marla, this is the home rink of the Santa Clarita Flyers. As you can imagine, families were really bowled over by getting this devastated news. As you just mentioned, that van included some of those young girls who are players for the team. And right now, there's just a lot of emphasis on the loss that has been sustained by one family. As we have learned, the father of one of those players died in this tragic accident.
Honestly, my stomach just kind of dropped, not knowing who was in that van, who it affected, and we are a very close-knit community, so everybody kind of knows everybody.
I can't imagine what this family is going through. I'm a hockey mom, and we are here, probably about 3 to 4 times a week, and my heart just goes out to this family.
Hockey is a family. We're all a family, and our family prayers go out to all those kids and obviously the families affected.
These images show the destruction in Colorado. Now, according to officials, a Sprinter van carrying the girls was involved in a fatal 3-vehicle crash with a snowplow. The occupants of the van were players and adults affiliated with the 12 and under girls hockey team. The Santa Clarita Flyers were on their way to compete in a tournament. 10 people were in the van. All of the children have been treated and released of those who were injured. The fatality, of course, as we've been learning, was the father of one of those girls. Officials said the plow truck traveling westbound on Interstate 70 lost control, traveled through the median, and plowed into several vehicles, including the one transporting the team. The van ended up on its side down an embankment. Meanwhile, back in Santa Clarita here, flowers and a hockey stick were laid out in front of the facility. Families took the loss very hard. They are very tight-knit here. They all expressed to me that sometimes they're here 4 or 5 times a week so that their children can practice, so they do know each other very well. They could all relate to how crushing this must be for the family. And I will say this, that as of right now, they were sort of learning about it as they came in tonight. We do know that not all of the team, of course, was in that van. As I told you earlier, just 10 people in that van. There were other participants who were in the air on their way to that tournament. Laura Diaz reporting live from Santa Clarita, sending it back to the studio.
Laura, we know how bad the weather has been in other parts of the country right now. I believe the team was supposed to play this coming weekend. Do we know if they're headed back yet?
I haven't been able to get that information, Christine. As I said, back here, people were just learning of it. And some of the people told me they actually knew the man who died. They would not talk to me on camera. They were just so crushed, and they didn't feel it was appropriate.
It is such a loss for the community. We feel for everybody involved, of course. All right, Laura, thanks so much. Well, a grass fire right near La Cienega Boulevard caused major traffic delays on the 405 freeway in the Hawthorne area tonight. This was breaking news at 6 o'clock. Firefighters quickly contained this 4-acre fire, which burned right near the southbound lanes. Crews acted fast to prevent the fire from spreading further. Both lanes reopened just after 7:30 tonight. So far, no injuries are reported.
The grisly murder case in Orange County. A woman accused of decapitating her boyfriend has been tracked down across the border. Fox 11's Nick Garcia reports from Anaheim.
We'll go to the literal ends of the earth to pursue justice for our victims.
A wanted murder suspect found and arrested in Mexico and brought back to the U.S. to face justice. The details are shocking. The Orange County District Attorney's Office says 23-year-old Alyssa Lira used a knife to behead her 55-year-old boyfriend, Enrique Ricky Gonzalez, in August. The motive still unclear.
His headless body was found inside of her home, along with his head.
This is the home on La Palma Avenue, much quieter today than when investigators say it happened 5 months ago. Anaheim police homicide detectives say Lira went to Mexico immediately after decapitating Gonzalez. The couple had only known each other for 2 months.
This is something that was a horrific death for this individual, and it's heartbreaking for the family to have to live with knowing that their loved one died in such a horrible manner.
The DA's office and the Anaheim Police Department worked with the FBI and Mexican authorities to track Lira down, but they would not elaborate on how she was found. She is now facing a count of murder and a count of use of a deadly weapon, both felonies. She's being held without bail and will appear in court to answer to those charges next month. Nick Garcia, Fox 11 News.
New at 8, community leaders come together to address recent ICE raids and alleged abductions in Boyle Heights.
Residents calling for an end to what they call unjust targeting of immigrant families. Fox 11's Ed Lascos live in downtown LA with more. Ed.
And Christine, they're also calling it kidnapping. The ICE agents who detained at least 6 of those folks in the latest series of raids over in East LA, the Boyle Heights area, all bringing in an emotional backlash. Let's get right to it. To the video we go. Check it. This is the scene over at Mariachi Plaza, Boyle Heights, a little while ago. Community groups are rallying their supporters. These are the folks who run out whenever there's an ICE raid in that area of East LA, alerting everybody to run, to hide, to close the businesses, and that's exactly what they did yesterday when that latest raid went down. Cell phone video shows the ICE agents moving in, and then you had the crowd, the community supporters, in defiance of the raid, standing face to face with the agents, yelling at them, telling them to get the blank out of their area, out of their neighborhood. We know 6 detained in this latest ICE raid. 5 of the 6 are vendors, I'm told. One of them is a man who's well known in the East LA Boyle Heights area, a man named Hector. He used to sell flowers right on the street corner there at First and Mott for years. He was one of those detained. So all of this really bringing outrage from the community in East LA, and it's just an uptick in the series of ICE raids we've seen in the last couple of weeks. Remember the really big one we saw over here in the Fashion District in LA a week or so ago. All of this on the eve of the big day of action, the National Day of Action, National Day of Shutdown, set for tomorrow. As the organizers say, they want everybody to stand in solidarity, stand together with the folks in Minneapolis, Minnesota, following the escalation of the ICE raids out there and the violence that has followed. So they're telling everybody here tomorrow to don't go to work, don't go to school, don't go out shopping, don't do anything except go to the big rallies that are planned and really show the economic force of rejecting the ICE raids. Listen to some of those who say they will be protesting tomorrow.
People need to be there so that everybody wakes up and we support each other, support the community. No shopping, don't go to work, don't go to school. Let's stick together.
So you're going to walk out tomorrow?
Yes, we will. We are. I am. I'm going to go. I'm going to cancel my plans.
Hopefully there's a big turnout on all levels. Business are shut down. Schools, walkouts occur, and other workers don't go to work. And so hopefully there's a big show for us.
Because that'll send a sharp message.
Absolutely.
We're ready for whatever comes our way, and we redeploy resources all the time to be as effective as we can and be as nimble as we can. Flexibility and mobility are critical components to us keeping everybody safe.
And now live, that's the city's top cop there, Chief Jim McDonald, LAPD, saying his officers will be ready. They're already monitoring the situation on social media. The big rallies, one set for over here at Gloria Molina Park alongside City Hall tomorrow afternoon, another one here tomorrow night. And they're expecting large crowds, and they're expecting many to say they're not going to work or school. They're going to send an economic message, as Christine and Marla, that was the part of the message at that rally tonight, saying we're hardworking people, and if we roll up our sleeves and say, no, we're not going to do it, we're going to sit out a day, it'll really send a message to get ICE to back off. That's their hope.
Ed, did you get a sense of how many businesses will partake in the walkout? In other words, that they will not open tomorrow?
Well, there's several that we were talking to who did not want to go on camera because, they were talking about it tonight, and I'm sure we all know about it. Everybody's scared. They're worried, especially in those communities over there, East LA, Boyle Heights. So they keep a low profile. But, yes, many business owners said they're not going to open, mostly because some of their workers have already been detained, are already missing because of earlier ICE raids. So it seems to be widespread. Exactly how many will hit the streets, I guess we're just going to have to wait and see.
And so many of these protests have been on weekends where a lot of people have the day off, perhaps on a Saturday, noting this is a weekday where a lot of people do work.
Yeah, I think that was part of their planning. It's a Friday going into the weekend. It's a very busy work day, especially here downtown. A lot of businesses like the Fashion District, like over in East LA, a lot of the shops. So yeah, I'm sure that was a calculated point of what they were trying to do. Keep in mind, it's also with the weather going to be a nice warmer night tomorrow night for some of the activity. So yeah, that also plays into the point of getting more people engaged to come out and say, no work, no school. We're sending a message.
Yeah, enjoy the sunshine instead. That'll be part of it, I'm sure, as well. All right, Ed, thank you so much.
Federal agents out in Panorama City earlier today, Union del Barrio posting this video showing someone being detained on the ground outside of El Super in Parthenia. They say this was just before 11 a.m. Two agents are seen wrestling with the person on the ground while it appears store workers are trying to close the door. The immigration enforcement happening near an LAUSD school, and parents did get an alert about the activity. We reached out to DHS for information. So far, we've not heard back.
A government shutdown has been averted. Senate Democrats and President Trump reached a deal that will see the Department of Homeland Security funding bill removed from the broader six-bill package. The agreement also tees up a short-term funding extension for 2 weeks for DHS to keep the agency funded while lawmakers negotiate restrictions on ICE.
The White House realizes that they made a huge mistake to let this agency go rogue.
The deal comes after Democrats voted to block legislation to fund DHS earlier today. Well, tonight, strong reaction from the Armenian community after Dr. Oz calls Los Angeles the epicenter for healthcare fraud. The head of Medicare and Medicaid blaming Russian and Armenian mafia.
Fox 11's Susan Hirosuna reports from Van Nuys where Dr. Oz focused his claims.
In this 4-block area in Los Angeles, there are 42 hospices. So either there are a lot of people dying here, or you've got a fraudulent activity that is so good that everyone wants to get in on it.
The former TV Dr. Oz, now the head of the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid, drove down Victory Boulevard in Van Nuys.
So you can see these are medical buildings. They've got Cyrillic writing, Russian, Armenian writing. On both sides, there's lots of action.
Oz claims the healthcare fraud in LA has cost the federal government $3.5 billion.
It's run, quite a bit of it, by the Russian Armenian mafia. You notice the lettering and language behind me is of that dialect.
Discussed it?
That's Edward Akbarian on his office balcony. But in Dr. Oz's video, he's blurred, and he feels it's made to look as if he's part of the alleged healthcare fraud. In fact, he sells real estate.
It's neighborhood. We know each other. Everybody knows each other, you know. Never heard anything like that. So and I was surprised. I was very, surprised when I heard that.
On Google Maps, each dot suggests the concentration of hospice companies, but because Oz never names even one, it's difficult to figure out if there are indeed sham businesses here. The Armenian Bar Association sent letters to Senator Adam Schiff and Representative Laura Friedman to applaud Oz's mission to root out fraud, but not at the expense of Armenian Americans.
To vilify an entire ethnicity, a community that's very proud to be American, by the way, it is truly beyond the pale and completely unconstitutional.
And this image some find particularly harmful. The bakery is actually closed, but the nearby market is owned by the same person, and the claim is that the Dr. Oz video is harming his business.
A business that's down now 30%. Poor guy, small businessman, saying they're somehow connected to the mob around hospice. Well, hospice, we've been after that for years and years before Oz was even on the scene.
The motives are to hit the Armenian community in LA, and we will not stand for it.
In Van Nuys, Susan Hirosuna, Fox 11 News.
Still headed 8, Waymo in hot water yet again. A child hit by a car near Santa Monica Elementary School.
What we know about what happened and how the company is responding.
I'm Haley Winslow in Canyon Country. Coming up, mold and flooding issues that have been going on, according to tenants, for years. What the apartment management company is doing or not doing about it, that's coming up.
As we head into tomorrow and this weekend, we are warming things up across the West Coast, tracking temperatures 10 to 20 degrees above their averages. All that and more on the other side of this break.
Now, a story you'll only see on Fox. A Canyon Country resident claims he pays $3,000 a month to live in a townhome riddled with mold. He also says the building managers know about it and refuse to fix it. Fox 11's Haley Winslow went to find out what's going on.
The water was rushing out of here.
John Soto says he's at his breaking point.
Struggled all my life to get to a better place for my daughter and be safe. Here I'm paying almost $3,000 a month, and I might as well move back to the projects.
Soto lives in the Colony townhomes in Canyon Country. He says for the past 2 years, he submitted constant repair requests and formal complaints with little to no response.
They promised to get this done the first week I moved in here.
But his biggest concern, his health. Visible mold spreads across his apartment after repeated floods and leaks from rain.
I had 2 inches of water, if you can see the glare.
Water damage from outside to inside. Walls swollen with water, stains across the ceiling, part of it falling apart. Furniture and photos ruined.
These were collector's items. I was wondering why my dogs were getting sick and diarrhea and everything. Well, they were licking the water on the floor.
What did the landlord say?
We'll take care of it.
We reached out to the Colony and are waiting to hear back. Meanwhile, Soto says problems persist. This hole, he fell through the balcony. So Soto made this video.
Do you think the Colony owes me some compensation for what we're going through?
The post quickly gained traction with neighbors who say they're facing the same problems.
And they're afraid to talk. I'm not afraid to talk. It's only fair. We pay so much money. Please give us what we paid for.
Soto says about a quarter of the 700 tenants that live at the Colony have been dealing with the same issues, and some are so fed up now they've filed lawsuits. Reporting in Canyon Country, I'm Haley Winslow, Fox 11 News.
The LAPD's latest crime report shows progress in reducing some offenses, but concerns persist about staffing shortages, slower response times, and the future of public safety. The department's most notable figure is a 19% decline in homicides last year, with 230 murders for all of 2025. Chief Jim McDonald says that is the lowest number of homicides since 1966. Specifically, gang-related homicides, they're down 4%, but homeless-related homicides, those are up 20%. The chief says the overall drop reflects targeted policing, gun seizures, and intelligence-led deployments, but he also stressed the work is far from finished. The report acknowledges robberies and assaults remain a concern in certain parts of the city, while staffing shortages continue to strain response times.
There comes a time where you've hit the wall and you just don't have the people to be able to move around and hit. So we supplement those efforts with overtime money. As the overtime money becomes less available, we're going to have to pull back from some of the things that we need to do. We are not going to get a substantial number of new officers anytime soon. When I look at our current budget, we're not keeping up with attrition. So we're going to have to continuously adapt to the circumstances we face.
The department also says mental health-related calls now make up a growing share of their workload, increasing reliance on clinician partnerships and specialized teams. Another bright spot, the chief says, recruitment is up 27%, which he says is reflected in morale, which is up too, according to what he found throughout his department. All right, coming up, a race against time to rescue a dog stuck in an icy pond.
Go ahead. Oh.
Weather is sponsored by My Home Sold.
Live look at LAX, Christine, tonight.
I'm looking forward to the great weather tomorrow.
And I think all these people who are arriving are too.
Yeah.
Right?
Can you
arriving
imagine
at LAX?
Come to this Southern California sunshine. Star Harvey with the forecast.
They are arriving just in time. In fact, most of this week we've had that warming trend, and we've arrived at the 80-degree temperatures not just for today. Left behind with beautiful skies out there. Still temperatures on the mild side for some of us, but as we do roll over into the end of our week and also into the start of this weekend, we are looking at the warmth to continue. In fact, we'll see those temperatures increase. We do have high pressure to thank for that. This high pressure system is doing a number of things. It is keeping this moisture off to the Pacific Northwest, away from us. It is allowing for the heat to come in, for our skies to be beautiful, but also for that nice northeast wind pattern. So for those gusty conditions for some of us, that is the reason why. We have seen a few warm days this week. In fact, we've had more days where we have been above our average than at or below. If you take a look at all of the red spots, that is what it is indicating, that temperatures are well above their averages. In fact, for today, we came in with our temperatures at 82 degrees. Most of this week, we've seen temperatures at least 71 degrees or above, and we are going to finish out this work week rolling into this weekend on the stronger side. In terms of precipitation, most of our rain did happen during the first week this month, but not really a bad problem here because we do have our total so far over 2 inches, so just at about 2.5 inches for this month. In terms of our water year, we are well above where we are typically at. In fact, we do have a large surplus, so we are looking at over 7 inches of where we are typically at in the precipitation department, so we're not doing bad there. In terms of what's happening outside right now, we are under, again, beautiful skies. Van Nuys checking in at 69 degrees right now. We do have a nice calm wind out there outside of the San Fernando Valley. Still some low 70s holding on into our almost 8:30 hour here. 70 degrees in Burbank, 71 down in Santa Monica, as well as Corona and Riverside. Our low deserts, 60s out there, and up into our high deserts, a lot cooler, a lot of microclimate going on here. We're at 47 degrees. Now, as we shift into tonight, most of us will see our temperatures or feel our temperatures in the upper 40s to low 50s. We will have some of those outlying areas that do have 20s and 30s. Our mountains should be at or right below that sub-freezing mark, but take a look up in Palmdale, Lancaster, the Antelope Valley area, temperatures in the low 30s. Now, again, as we make our way into tomorrow, we are going to make a beautiful rebound across most of the area. We are looking at another day or two across the region. This is looking to LA, the inland Orange County area, where we are tracking temperatures in the upper 80s. As we move into the back half of our weekend and the start of next week, we do see those temperatures taking a little bit of a decline, but we have another system that is due to move in next week, which will warm us right back up once again. I know it is not our summer months here, but it is feeling a lot like it. So I have more details outside of the LA area moving into this weekend, and you won't want to miss it. I'll be back with those details for now. Back to you.
So nice. Still ahead. Vandalism found a new target across LA. Ads for the new Melania documentary.
What's being done about it? Plus, Matthew Seedorf.
We're in Santa Monica tonight where a young child was hit by a Waymo driverless car outside of school. Reaction from parents and an expert right after this.
Live across SoCal, this is LA Live News Tonight on Fox 11 Plus.
Tonight, cause for concern after a self-driving Waymo hits a young child at a Santa Monica school.
Fox 11's Matthew Seedorf outside Grant Elementary tonight with new questions about safety and these cars in school zones in particular. Matthew.
Yeah, Marwa, that's right. It happened right outside of school last week, right as parents were dropping off their kids. Now a lot of people are on high alert. If you go ahead and take a look at this video, this is outside Grant Elementary School tonight. You can see it's a pretty busy intersection, especially during school drop-off and pickup times. Now, this happened last Friday morning. According to police, a young child darted out into traffic from behind an SUV and was hit by that Waymo. Waymo says the car was traveling 17 miles per hour and then braked to 6 miles per hour when that collision took place, arguing that this is actually better than how a human driver would have performed during that same reaction time. But tonight, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is investigating Waymos and school zones as the school speed limit here is 15, and again, that car was going 17.
Santa Monica passed a law a couple years ago where in a school zone, if kids are present, and this was a usual school pickup drop-off time, you should be driving 15. So why was the car going 17?
And I saw the Waymo surrounded by the officers' cars. I think they put a boot on it to stop it.
I think it's a wake up to everybody that this is a school and there are kids and there are families and we all just need to be really careful to keep people safe, honestly.
Fortunately, it sounds like that child is going to be okay, but according to Waymo, their car did stay on the scene and actually called 911 itself. Reporting live tonight in Santa Monica, Matthew Seedorf, Fox 11 News.
Do we know anything else about the child?
We don't. You know, we've been speaking with parents, and, you know, all that they can say is that it was the child is okay, and that's good to hear. But again, it sounds like it darted out into traffic near the school crossing guard, actually, but kind of when their cars were double parked, it went out into traffic and got hit.
So we're navigating a whole new world here with these cars. All right, Matthew, thank you.
New details to a story we first brought you last night. Several TSA employees dining in Linwood were surrounded and harassed by a group of people who thought they were ICE agents. The TSA workers called the sheriff's department for help when the anti-ICE protesters swarmed the restaurant. A spokesperson from the Department of Homeland Security issued a statement saying, in part, DHS employs more than 260,000 Americans in a wide range of missions critical to keeping America safe, and politicians must stop fanning the flames of hatred and vitriol and allow DHS employees to do their jobs without having to fear for their personal safety. The TSA also commented, saying, quote, the mob believed these TSA officials were ICE agents. They were not, but the message to Americans is clear. Agitators and politicians who fan the flames of hatred are endorsing violence against every Department of Homeland Security employee.
Developing news tonight. Border czar Tom Homan took over immigration enforcement efforts in Minneapolis and says he's already met with state and local leaders, signaling changes will be made. Meanwhile, the mayor of Minneapolis is in Washington pushing for ICE to get out, calling their actions un-American. Fox 11's Jared Halpern has that story.
Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey is pushing for an end to what he says are unlawful ICE operations in his home state.
This is not a time to bend our heads in despair or out of fear that we may be next, because if we do not speak up, if we do not step out, it will be your city that is next.
Frey in D.C. at a mayor's conference defending Minneapolis as a sanctuary city.
Thousands of federal agents have descended on a city. American citizens have been yanked away from their homes after that solely because they look like they are from Mexico or Ecuador or Somalia. That's not how we operate in America.
Frey's remarks followed border czar Tom Homan's vow to remain in Minnesota until the illegal immigration problem is solved. Homan is taking over ICE operations and wants to hold agents accountable.
I didn't come to Minnesota for photo ops or headlines. I came here to seek solutions.
Homan says the Trump administration is working on a, quote, drawdown plan to decrease the presence of federal agents in the state.
The withdrawal of law enforcement resources here is dependent upon cooperation. Like I said, one agent arresting one bad guy in the jail means less agents on the street.
Homan also acknowledged the right to protest, but says he wants what he calls the, quote, hostile rhetoric to stop. Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Vulgar vandalism targeting images of First Lady Melania Trump forces LA Metro to make some changes. The buses with Melania ads for her new documentary will be relocated. Fox 11's Christina Gonzalez has the story.
Metro buses featuring ads promoting First Lady Melania Trump's new documentary are being reassigned after San Fernando Valley bus stops ended up vandalized. We've covered up the expletives over some of the posters. One reading, quote, Melania is in the Epstein files. Another one with a painted mustache under the First Lady's nose, and the words Eva Braun, the name of Hitler's longtime lover.
She represents part of what's going on, right? So if you have, let's say, Hitler's wife, and make a movie about her, I don't think people are gonna be happy about her either, even though she didn't do anything wrong.
Reaction from bus riders, many not surprised Melania's movie, about to be released this week, is being targeted.
Giving damage to public transport and public property isn't the best idea, but I do definitely understand where people are coming from.
Metro says the ads have been on their buses for over 3 weeks. But with the recent rise of tensions over ICE operations and shootings in Minnesota, they've seen a sharp spike in bus stop vandalism, especially since last weekend.
I think that's a valid one, honestly. Not vandalizing, but be able to express their discomfort with what's going on.
And the vandalism is not limited to buses. This video from the activist group In Decline, where you see someone illegally defacing a Melania billboard on Venice Boulevard. The group says they are not taking responsibility for the bus stop vandalism, only for the billboard. And we are putting In Decline's full statement on our website at foxla.com. No statement at this point from the First Lady. She's probably more concerned right now with the opening of the film, which is tomorrow. In Pasadena, I'm Christina Gonzalez, Fox 11 News.
Well, this is the year California elects a new governor. To help keep you informed on the race, Fox 11 is co-hosting a gubernatorial debate. Hopefully you've heard by now. It's scheduled for Tuesday, February 3rd. It's going to take place in San Francisco. You can watch it live right here on Fox 11 from 5:30 to 8. Stream it on the Fox local app. As you can see, I'm one of the 3 moderators. I will also be live right here at 8 p.m. following the debate as well. That's next Tuesday. Don't forget, we do want to hear from you, so you can scan the QR code right there on your screen to submit a question for the candidates. You can also do it on our website, submit a candidate question, foxla.com. Go ahead.
We're kind of early on to get ready for the elections coming up months from now.
Right.
I think a lot of voters don't know who some of these candidates are or know them very well at all.
Yeah, as of yesterday, we had 6 candidates, and then today we added another one, the mayor of San Jose, Matt Mahan. He is now going to take part in the debate. He's more of the centrist Democrat, for those who don't know. Had plenty of infighting with Governor Gavin Newsom. We have Tom Steyer, the billionaire.
We've seen his ads everywhere.
Yes, yeah. And that's what money will buy you, is a lot of those TV ads. So maybe you're familiar with him. We have the current superintendent of instruction education here in the state. That's Tony Thurmond. He's been here in our studio as well. We have Betty Yee, California controller, former California controller. We have Congressman Eric Swalwell.
A lot of those names have been in politics for more than a minute, so you may know some of those names.
And a name I'm sure you're familiar with, being in Los Angeles, Antonio Villaraigosa, former Los Angeles mayor and assembly speaker. So I think I named them all. I hope I did.
Not to worry. We know where to find you next week.
Yes, but we're going to talk a lot about the issues that matter to you, because we've been asking you to submit questions, and you really have. Affordability in the state, housing, homelessness. Crime, public safety. I mean, it's the topics are pretty obvious, but let's see where they stand.
All right, big year for us.
Yeah, really big year.
A consumer alert: nearly 2,000 products were recalled after the FDA found rodent and bird contamination at a distribution facility. It's for grocery items like Cheerios, Skittles, and Pringles. Also, pet food like Purina dog chow and Purina cat chow. And over-the-counter items like Advil, Benadryl, and Claritin. A full list is on the FDA's website. The FDA urging consumers to destroy affected products immediately, not return them. Refunds are available. The products distributed in Indiana, Minnesota, and North Dakota may pose health risks like salmonella, though no illnesses have been reported. Parents, this is for you. Looking to take your kids somewhere new?
Fox 11's Coco McAvoy has you covered. She went to check out Imagine Minds. It's an experimental indoor play center in Tustin.
Hey there, Imagine Minds in Tustin is a brand new indoor play center. It's a huge hit for the kids, but also for the parents because it really offers a lot of great STEM-based learning. I am here with Summer and Dallin, also their son Carter as well. So if you can talk about what drew you to Imagine Minds.
I think for us, he's an only child, so being able to play with other children and just also promoting independent play when it's a little bit quieter around here, I think that was huge for us.
Yes, and he's been playing so well with the other kids. What have you noticed that he likes so far about this place?
The water. He's soaked. He's definitely drenched, and we've been over here most of the time today.
Yeah, he's having an amazing time, and that's what I love about this too, is there's so much to do. Thank you so much, Summer and Dallin. I also want to get over here to Ashley as well with her son Cassius. If you can talk about what drew you to Imagine Minds.
Well, I was seeing this place. I know it just opened. I saw online, and I like how this place is different from others. It's very intentional. It's on the smaller side, but it forces kids to be creative and use their imagination and be very hands-on. So Cassius loves it. He has a blast, clearly.
Because I was going to say, what have you noticed that he's really gravitated towards here?
Oh my God, everything. He really likes these, whatever these are called, balls. He gets swung, and he just loves anything. I mean, he's so creative, especially the bubbles in the water play. I just let him get messy because he can't really do this at home, so I love it here.
Yes, thank you so much, Ashley, and I love so much that you said it really is an intentional play center here, and it does allow the kids to really get creative and play with other kids as well. So if you are interested in coming here, it is open every single day. It's $26 for 1 hour and then $35 for 2 hours right here in Tustin. I'll send it back to you.
All right, Coco, thank you. Coming up, we're checking in with meteorologist Star Harvey and
a very special guest.
Oh my goodness, all the excitement, right? Let's do a little fist bump there. Can't wait to talk about all things happening in the studio. Not just weather, but also we are going to be talking some wild wings here. We'll be right back after this break.
A Hall of Famer's shoes do not just fit the foot, they defy destiny.
Good morning.
Right there, Hockey Hall of Famer and Stanley Cup champion Teemu Selanne, and he designed, along with the Anaheim Ducks and Anaheim-born Vans, limited edition sneakers. So cool.
Yes, they were very cool, and we have a whole lot of them in the studio, along with these people. I love it. Vans ambassador Steve Van Doren, who happens to be the son of Vans co-founder Paul Van Doren, joins us now with the mascot that needs no introduction.
You look amazing.
Wild Wing.
Amazing.
This guy doesn't even need a microphone. He's low maintenance, right?
All right.
Good to have you both.
Oh, glad to be here.
Yeah, it's game night, by the way, right now. So we appreciate you taking the time out to join to talk about this wonderful collaboration, Anaheim Ducks and Vans.
Yes, no, when my dad started Vans back in 1966, we started in Anaheim, and it's awesome. Honored to go along with the Ducks. And I think the score is still tied going into the third period. But we had Teemu Selanne come to our office, and we actually let him design this beautiful shoe. And you'll see some pictures over there with the Flash number 8 on there. There's all kinds of special things. He was, you know, the Stanley Cup champion, Mighty Ducks there back in 2007.
Ooh, look at that right there.
He's like a 14, yes. He was in the Olympics 6 different times.
Yeah, Olympic champ.
You know, yeah, it's finished.
So let's just point out, that is one style shoe. You and I are wearing another style shoe.
We've got the original Vans, like checkerboard with the Ducks logo in there and stuff.
Yeah, you got to check out the tiny print on there. It's so cool. And not everybody can get these.
No, just on Sunday's game, which is on, you know, the 1st of February. Everybody's going to be coming to the stadium. I hear it's a sellout and stuff. Get there early, but they'll have all the shoes outside, the Teemu specials, as well as the checkerboard.
What does it mean for you historically? I mean, given, and we're looking at the shoe display that we have on our other set that looks really nice. The biggest shoes I've ever seen, by the way, is size 66.
66, we call that.
66.
Is that for Wild Wing? Is that your shoe size right there?
Even bigger than his, but we've worked, this is our 3rd year since the 30th anniversary of the Ducks. And it's just an honor to be able to work with a professional hockey team and in our hometown.
Okay.
We were over seeing the firefighters a few days ago. It was 1 block from our original factory in Anaheim, and supporting them. It's going to be on the same night.
Honoring fire and rescue.
Yes. And it's great to be able to, you know, it's our 60th anniversary coming up in a month and a half.
Happy 60th.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's just Van's been around Southern California for a long time, but we're all over the world these days and stuff, and happy to do special collaborations like this here with the Ducks.
Original skate company.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you can buy the 2 limited edition sneakers at the Honda Center this Sunday, February 1st. Starts at 3 p.m. at the north side of the building. Here's the thing, a ticket to the Ducks versus the Golden Knights game that night is required.
And these go fast, right?
Yes, and there's a special ticket that they have a chance to get the Teemu Selanne bobblehead and bobblefoot that's over on the display.
Yeah, the foot moves, right?
Foot moves and stuff. First time I've seen that.
Well, speaking of feet moving.
Play a little hockey?
Yeah, how about this? What do you think?
Marla?
Yeah, sure.
Go for it. You're the athlete.
I don't even have the band.
You're the athlete here.
Boom.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Boom.
Wow.
Get it.
Boom. Oh. There we
go. That easy, huh, Marla? We need to get Marla on the ice.
Wild Wing.
Right? On the
You're an
ice
easy
is
goalie.
what she does.
So thanks for making me look good. Yes. I love it.
Well, you know what? I don't know if everybody knew that Vans is an Anaheim company.
Yes, absolutely. 1966. We're actually from Boston originally. My dad, my Uncle Jim, Gordon Lee. And we moved to Costa Mesa, that's where I lived. And then the first factory was in Anaheim, 704 East Broadway. Wow. And been in Orange County ever since.
Do you wear Vans every single day?
I do. I have, you know, you're hard to find.
How many pairs do you have?
My wife only lets me have a rack, which is about 100 at the house. But I have about 500 at the office and up in a rafter and stuff. I wear them all.
That's a shoe collection.
I never just put them aside. I actually wear them always and stuff. Wear them out wherever I am traveling the world and stuff. From the Vans Warped Tour, which came back this year, to every country that I go visit and stuff. I always find special ones, and I love making up special fabrics and stuff. My daughter got married 15 years ago, and I took some of her dress and made her shoes out of that there. My assistant Angie put bling bling around them.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah,
well, this is a great collaboration. I love it.
It's so fun.
And fans just love it, and they love you too. Gotta get my selfie.
He's the best.
After this.
Yeah, you and me both.
Right, thanks for
All right,
coming
thank
in.
you so much
Thank
for
you
being
very
here.
much.
Thank you, thank you. All right, let's head let's head over to Stars where I'm trying to stay. Yeah.
Yes, as a proud Angelino, I have so many stories of traveling the country and having my Vans on and people always knowing where I was from based on my shoes. They're like, you're a Vans girl, you gotta be from California. So yep, right here from good old LA. And so happy again to have you all in studio with us. Let's talk a little bit about what's happening around LA. We got some gorgeous conditions to get through the rest of our week here. In fact, at the top of our headlines, we are talking temperatures continuing above their normal, not just through tomorrow, but moving into the start of our weekend as well. Now, with this high pressure system in place, it is also going to be bringing in some more of those Santa Ana winds through tomorrow. We're mostly going to see that hanging around our mountain communities. And then as we head into the weekend, the second half of the weekend, Sunday into Monday, we do have a slight cooling, but then we head back into the middle of next week and we are right back in store for a secondary warm up. We didn't do too bad today. In fact, downtown LA, we managed to hit 80 degrees across the area. Our normal is 68. You can see with that temperature today, we came in a lot closer to that record temperature of 85 degrees. And while we didn't make it, I can tell you that by the time we arrive at tomorrow and moving into this weekend, we are looking at a chance to tie record highs, but also possibly beat out some. Now, downtown LA is not the only one that hit the 80s today. We had a lot of 80s scattered across our low deserts into Ventura County, stretching over into the Long Beach area, but also down into Orange County. Now, high pressure has been in play all week or most of this week here, and so it'll continue to influence us. And in fact, you heard me talk about some of those record highs. This is a possibility moving into tomorrow. Downtown LA, we do have a record of 83 degrees back in 1992. Well, tomorrow we're going to be trying our best to beat that number. We're going for a high of 85 degrees. We'll have areas like Long Beach, who had a record temperature of 85 degrees back in 2003. Tomorrow we're forecasting that same number. So we may tie that record there. And you can see down our list, we do have more areas that are expecting to hit the mid to upper 80s moving into tomorrow, and then repeating that again moving into Saturday. We will have some more of those Santa Ana winds kicking up, not just across some of our I-5 corridor over through the 15 freeway, the Cajon Pass, in and through the Santa Ana Mountains tomorrow morning into the afternoon as well as the evening. Let's talk a little bit about that 7-day. If we can get it pulled up here, it is wanting to drag there. But I can tell you that after this weekend, moving into Sunday and Monday, we are looking at a chance for those temperatures to drop down. There we go right there. 85 for tomorrow, 86 for our Saturday, and then back down into the 70s for Sunday as well as Monday. Back to you.
We still have more news ahead here at 8.
But first, here's a preview of what's coming up at 9. Tensions are rising as President Trump weighs military action against Iran. Could strikes on nuclear sites be on the table? And how is Iran preparing to respond? Plus, a bizarre scene at a Brooklyn detention center. A man allegedly shows up claiming to have weapons and paperwork to free a very famous inmate, Luigi Mangione. Details ahead at 9.
got you, Bubba. You okay, buddy? Oh, you done mashed him under. Come on, Bubba.
Get him.
I can't. Yeah, go ahead. If you can paddle back, I got him. I got him.
Ah, caught on camera, a dog in Missouri stuck in a very dangerous situation. This video was taken last week in St. Louis. Firefighters heard a dog was stuck in an icy pond and immediately came to the rescue. They got on a raft, as you saw, paddled out to save the stranded dog. It was a bit of a struggle, but eventually the pup made it to safety. According to the St. Louis Fire Department, they don't know how long the dog was in the water, but it is doing well now.
That's a big dog to have to pull out of the ice there and get on that boat, and his legs.
Well done by the man who was able to do that.
Yes, I want to see the dog running around now. I want proof that the dog is fine.
No, I want to see him seated
with the fireplace
in front of the fire.
The hot cocoa. Yeah. All right, that's cool. The Los Angeles Central Library, check this out. They're marking a milestone this year, 100 years of providing books and information to curious Angelinos. This is the time capsule marking the Central Library's historic anniversary. Inside were books, pamphlets, and other documents noting the official beginnings of LA. Crowds of the curious, some dressed in 1920s era clothing, attended the birthday celebration with cake and all in the shape of the building. There will be special events all year long to mark the library's centennial. It is in downtown LA. If you have never been, it is worth a trip there.
Oh gosh,
it's so grand.
A wealth of information there,
grand.
And that's so cool. The time capsule. Yeah, really cool. All right.
Yeah, we're not done yet.
LA Live News Tonight continues at 9. Coming up right after the break. We'll see you there.
I saw the Waymo surrounded by the officers' cars.
Now at 9, a terrifying moment at a Santa Monica school. What led a self-driving Waymo to hit a young child, and could it happen again? Plus, tensions are rising as President Trump weighs military action against Iran. Could strikes on nuclear sites be on the table? And how is Iran preparing to respond? And we're live from the coast to the inland valleys. Meteorologist Star Harvey with a preview of what's on the horizon.
Well, Marla, we had some heat packing in today, hitting the 80s across the LA area. We do have more of that headed this way. In fact, it is expected to become warmer over the next 2 days. I'll have all of those details and more on the other side of this.
Thank you, Star. Good evening, everybody. You're watching LA Live News Tonight at 9 o'clock. I'm Marla Tejas. New tonight, cause for concern after a self-driving Waymo hits a child at a Santa Monica school. Fox 11's Matthew Seedorf outside Grant Elementary tonight with new questions about safety and these cars in school zones. Matthew.
That's right, Marla. This happened right as parents were dropping off their kids last week for school, and now many people are on alert across this area. Go ahead and take a look at this video. This is outside Grant Elementary School here in Santa Monica earlier tonight. What can be a very busy intersection, especially during school drop-off and pickup times. Now, this happened last Friday morning. According to police, a young child darted out into traffic from behind a double-parked SUV and was hit by that Waymo. Waymo says the car was traveling 17 miles per hour and then braked to 6 miles per hour when that collision took place, arguing that this is actually better than the estimated time a human driver would have reacted. But tonight, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is investigating Waymos and school safety zones, as the school speed limit here is 15 and the car again was going 17.
Santa Monica passed a law a couple years ago where in a school zone, if kids are present, and this was a usual school pickup drop-off time, you should be driving 15. So why was the car going 17?
And I saw the Waymo surrounded by the officers' cars. I think they put a boot on it to stop it.
I think it's a wake up to everybody that this is a school and there are kids and there are families, and we all just need to be really careful to keep people safe, honestly.
Fortunately, it sounds like that child is okay, but a lot of parents very upset about this. Waymo says that the car stayed here on the scene and actually called 911 itself. Reporting live tonight in Santa Monica, Matthew Seedorf, Fox 11 News.
Matthew, what was the biggest takeaway, you think, from what you've heard out there tonight?
I think just genuine concern. Some people actually think that the Waymo is safer than possibly human drivers, which could be distracted, with cell phones and all that sort of stuff. Other people think the opposite. They think that these Waymos are a little more dangerous. So I think people are split on kind of this whole issue.
Yeah, the debate, it is a strong one. Okay, Matthew, thanks so much. Hopefully you didn't get stuck in this tonight. A grass fire near La Cienega Boulevard caused major traffic delays on the 405. This is southbound. It happened in Hawthorne tonight. Citizen video capturing the scene from the freeway. Firefighters quickly contained the 4-acre blaze, which burned near the southbound lanes. Crews acted fast to prevent the fire from spreading. Both lanes reopened just after 7:30 tonight, and so far no injuries have been reported. Let's hope it stays that way. An update now on a grisly Orange County murder that happened last summer. The district attorney's office says 23-year-old Alyssa Lira decapitated her boyfriend, then fled to Mexico. Fox 11's Nick Garcia reports.
We'll go to the literal ends of the earth to pursue justice for our victims.
A wanted murder suspect found and arrested in Mexico and brought back to the U.S. to face justice. The details are shocking. The Orange County District Attorney's Office says 23-year-old Alyssa Lira used a knife to behead her 55-year-old boyfriend, Enrique Ricky Gonzalez, in August. The motive still unclear.
His headless body was found inside of her home, along with his head.
This is the home on La Palma Avenue, much quieter today than when investigators say it happened 5 months ago. Anaheim police homicide detectives say Lira went to Mexico immediately after decapitating Gonzalez. The couple had only known each other for 2 months.
This is something that was a horrific death for this individual, and it's heartbreaking for the family to have to live with knowing that their loved one died in such a horrible manner.
The DA's office and the Anaheim Police Department worked with the FBI and Mexican authorities to track Lira down, but they would not elaborate on how she was found. She is now facing a count of murder and a count of use of a deadly weapon, both felonies. She's being held without bail and will appear in court to answer to those charges next month. Nick Garcia, Fox 11 News.
Developing tonight, President Trump is considering potential U.S. military action against Iran, with officials saying options could include strikes on nuclear and missile facilities to pressure Tehran into talks. U.S. military forces and equipment are already positioned in the region. Iran says its nuclear program is peaceful, says it's open to a fair deal and warns it will defend itself if attacked. Also developing, a government shutdown has been averted. Senate Democrats and President Trump have reached a deal that will see the Department of Homeland Security funding bill removed from the broader 6-bill package. The agreement also tees up a short-term funding extension for 2 weeks for DHS to keep the agency funded while lawmakers negotiate restrictions on ICE. The deal comes after Democrats voted to block legislation to fund DHS earlier today. New tonight, community leaders come together to address recent ICE raids and alleged abductions in Boyle Heights. Fox 11's Ed Lascos, he's live there in downtown LA with more. Ed?
And Marla, those community groups are actually calling it a kidnapping, those detained by the ICE agents following the latest immigration raids going down over in East LA and Boyle Heights yesterday at this time. Let's get to it. To the video we go. Check it. This the scene over at Mariachi Plaza in Boyle Heights earlier. There's community groups rallying their supporters. These are many of the folks who go out when there is a raid like the one yesterday, and they alert everybody that there's a raid going on, take cover, run, hide, and then they go face to face with the ICE agents themselves in a defiance of those raids. And still video shows that raid going down in Boyle Heights, the community members yelling at the ICE agents, telling them to get the blank out of their neighborhood. They don't belong here, to go to blank, all the rest of the expletives you can imagine. We can tell you that 6 are detained in this raid. 5 of the 6 are vendors in that area. One of them was well known as a fellow named Hector, a flower salesman over at the corner of 2nd and Mott, had been there for many years. He was taken into custody in the raids. All of this fueling outrage, and all of this on the eve of the big National Day of Action set for tomorrow, the day of a shutdown, and to stand in support of what's been going on in Minneapolis, the escalation of the ICE activity, raids, and the violence that has followed. So they're asking folks tomorrow here through LA, through the Southland, basically to not go to work, not go to school, not go out shopping, do nothing except come to several of the rallies to support the crackdown on ICE. And many we've been talking to tonight say they're ready to walk out tomorrow. Listen.
People need to be there so that everybody wakes up and we support each other, support the community. No shopping, don't go to work, don't go to school. Let's stick together.
So you're going to walk out tomorrow?
Yes, we will. We are. I am. I'm going to go. I'm going to cancel my plans.
Hopefully there's a big turnout on all levels. Business are shut down. Schools, walkouts occur, and other workers don't go to work. And so hopefully there's a big show for us.
Because that'll send a sharp message.
Absolutely.
We're ready for whatever comes our way, and we redeploy resources all the time to be as effective as we can and be as nimble as we can. Flexibility and mobility are critical components to us keeping everybody safe.
And now live, it seems everybody is ready for what may come tomorrow. That's the city's top cop, Chief McDonald. LAPD says the officers have been monitoring a lot of the chatter going back on social media in terms of where the rallies might take place tomorrow when all of this materializes. Marla, we know there's a couple of big rallies set for tomorrow. Gloria Molina Park over there on the other side of City Hall, one in the afternoon, one tomorrow evening around 7 o'clock. So we'll just have to wait and see, because many folks say they will take part. They will just not do anything tomorrow, not go to work or school or shopping. And then others say they'd like to do that, but they're in a situation with their job where they can't. So I think it's really up in the air, but certainly the feeling or the emotion is that a lot of folks really want to be involved with that tomorrow.
So Ed, it's not just a daytime event, it bleeds into the night as well?
Yeah, that's the plan, to not go to work, not go to school. They're hoping then the rallies will take place, one at 1 o'clock, and I know another one is set then for 7 o'clock here tomorrow night, just to block over in that direction. Yeah, that's the plan, a whole day, a whole event, and I'm thinking, as we were saying earlier, Marla, the planning on this, a Friday going into the weekend, weather is going to be very nice, so it all plays into the folks who might say, yeah, it is a good day not to do anything, to just remove ourselves and send an economic message to the government.
It really will be interesting to see how many people actually turn out. So we'll be reporting on it tomorrow. Ed, thanks so much. New tonight, nurses in Santa Monica holding a vigil to honor Alex Preddy, a registered nurse killed by Border Patrol officers in Minneapolis. The protest outside St. John's Health Center was organized by the California Nurses Association. Nurses are also urging Congress to stop funding ICE citing violence, family separations, and inadequate medical care for immigrant communities.
too afraid to come in for treatment, for chemo treatment. They're too afraid to go to their doctors. They have wounds that they're neglecting that could get really bad infections.
The 2 agents involved in the shooting have been placed on administrative leave during the investigation. And new tonight, healthcare workers at Kindred hospitals in Westminster and Brea, they are on a 3-day strike.
What's this about? Patient care. What's this about? Patient care.
Over 300 union members, including nurses and respiratory therapists, are picketing outside the 2 hospitals. They're protesting what they call unfair treatment on the job. The union says management has locked out striking workers, keeping them from returning until 7 p.m. tomorrow. They're asking for higher wages, saying Kindred hospitals are among the lowest paying in Orange County, and also demanding safer staffing levels.
Turnovers here is so high, and that really affects the care of our patient because we need experienced people to take care of the people here. So we are really stressed out, we're burnt out, and we're exhausted. And that's why we're here today to fight for a fair contract that actually respects values of work for the work we do here.
Kindred is owned by Scion Health, which is part of Apollo Global Management, a private equity firm. The company says the strike is a normal part of contract talks, claims patient care has not been affected, and says it's working toward a fair deal. Live look outside from atop Mount Wilson on this Thursday night. Get ready for the end of January to feel a whole lot like August. Let's bring in meteorologist Star Harvey. I'm not wrong, right?
You are not wrong. You know, it is definitely feeling like the thick of summer across a lot of this month. We've had more days where our temperatures have been above their normal than at their average. As we take a look at our alerts, we don't have any alerts here down across the LA basin, but do want to talk about our continued dense fog advisory. This is going to be across the Bakersfield area and point north, and it is in effect until tomorrow at around noontime. We do have that fog out there, that Thule fog, the radiational fog. If you haven't seen it, you know what's going on up there now. Temperatures at 70 degrees right now in Whittier, 61 in Diamond Bar. Riverside, you're at 68, as well as down in San Pedro, 68. And we also have 68 over in Thousand Oaks. Our sustained winds right now, very calm, 5 to about 10 miles per hour, kicking up a little bit more across the Ontario region, but also out towards the Malibu area as well. Now, temperatures tonight under beautiful skies and mostly clear will land themselves in the upper 40s to the low 50s. And if you are across some of our mountains or high deserts, we are looking at our temperatures dipping to the 20s as well as the 30s. Now, if you're in the LA area, the downtown region, moving into the 8 o'clock hour tomorrow, we will have seen our temperatures rebound to the upper 50s. We are expecting to have another day where our temperatures do top off in the low to, or actually I'd say mid 80s across the area. Our model is indicating a little bit lower, but today we came in at 82. Tomorrow we are forecasting a high across the LA area at 85 degrees. And then moving into the start of our weekend, we are talking more heat. I'll have more details and an explanation on that coming up. For now, Marla, back to you.
All right, Star, thanks so much. The LAPD's latest crime report shows progress in reducing some offenses, but concerns persist about staffing shortages, slower response times, and the future of public safety. The department's most notable figure is a 19% drop in homicides last year, with 230 murders for 2025. Chief Jim McDonald says that is the lowest number of homicides since 1966. Specifically, gang-related homicides are down 4%. Homeless-related homicides, though, are up 20%. The chief says the overall drop reflects targeted policing, gun seizures, and intelligence-led deployments. He also stressed the work, though, is far from finished. The report acknowledges robberies and assaults remain a concern in certain parts of the city, while staffing shortages continue to strain response times.
There comes a time where you've hit the wall and you just don't have the people to be able to move around and hit. So we supplement those efforts with overtime money. As the overtime money becomes less available, we're going to have to pull back from some of the things that we need to do. We are not going to get a substantial number of new officers anytime soon. When I look at our current budget, we're not keeping up with attrition. So we're going to have to continuously adapt to the circumstances we face.
The department also says mental health related calls now make up a growing share of their workload, increasing reliance on clinician partnerships and specialized teams. All right, coming up, a dramatic standoff at a Norwalk gun store ends after 7 tense hours. How the suspect got inside. Still ahead at 9, a man says he's paying $3,000 a month to live in a townhome full of mold, and he claims the building managers won't lift a finger to fix it. So what's he doing to fight back? Right now, a story you'll see only on Fox 11. A Canyon Country resident pays $3,000 a month to live in a townhome he says is riddled with mold. The building managers know about it, he says, but refuse to do anything about it. So we reached out to Fox 11. Fox 11's Haley Winslow has the story.
The water was rushing out of here.
John Soto says he's at his breaking point.
Struggled all my life to get to a better place for my daughter and be safe. Here I'm paying almost $3,000 a month, and I might as well move back to the projects.
Soto lives in the Colony townhomes in Canyon Country. He says for the past 2 years, he's submitted constant repair requests and formal complaints with little to no response.
They promised to get this done the first week I moved in here.
But his biggest concern, his health. Visible mold spreads across his apartment after repeated floods and leaks from rain.
I had 2 inches of water, if you can see the glare.
Water damage from outside to inside. Walls swollen with water, stains across the ceiling, part of it falling apart. Furniture and photos ruined.
These were collector's items. I was wondering why my dogs were getting sick and diarrhea and everything. Well, they were licking the water on the floor.
What did the landlord say?
We'll take care of it.
We reached out to the Colony and are waiting to hear back. Meanwhile, Soto says problems persist. This hole, he fell through the balcony. So Soto made this video.
Do you think the Colony owes me some compensation for what we're going through?
The post quickly gained traction with neighbors who say they're facing the same problems.
And they're afraid to talk. I'm not afraid to talk. it's only fair. We pay so much money. Please give us what we paid for.
Soto says about a quarter of the 700 tenants that live at the colony have been dealing with the same issues, and some are so fed up now they've filed lawsuits. Reporting in Canyon Country, I'm Haley Winslow, Fox 11 News.
Weather is sponsored by American Career College.
Live look from atop Mount Wilson, and we are really heating it up as we head closer to the weekend. Meteorologist Star Harvey is here, and are we breaking records?
Yeah, as we move into tomorrow, we are potentially looking at a chance to either tie records or break some records. And I can tell you, with this high pressure system in place, LA, the downtown area, we were able to clock in at 82 degrees today. Now, our record high is 85 for today, so we did fall about 3 degrees short of that, but not too bad there. Now, the high pressure system that is controlling a lot of what we are having happen here in the weather department will remain in place, keeping this moisture off to the Pacific Northwest, but also continue to warm up our temperatures and bring in some of those gusty winds across some of our mountains as we push into tomorrow. If you take a look at this month, we got some blues and some reds here. Now, the blues are going to represent the chances or the times that we had our temperatures below their averages. All of the reds, which we have a lot of them, we have majority of above average temperatures here on the map. When we look at this week, we've clocked in every single day so far. Today, we brought it up to about 82 degrees for the downtown LA area. As we finish out this month, I'm going to go ahead and forecast it right now that we are expecting to have 2 more red boxes there. Now, if we flip things around here and we look at our precipitation for the month, now we didn't have a lot happening after the first week, but I can tell you that we're not doing too bad. In fact, the total so far for the month, close to 2.5 inches. So no issues there. In fact, we are in a surplus for our water year here. So racking up from the later parts or the latter half of last year, we did have a lot of precipitation come through. And so that did give us a surplus. We're more than 7 inches above where we are typically at for that seasonal average there. As far as what's happening outside right now, we do have those beautiful skies across the Van Nuys area. Temperatures at 67 degrees. Our winds pushing out of the north across the area at about 14 miles per hour. And while we're in the 60s across portions of the San Fernando Valley, we do still have 70s holding on across Santa Monica. We have 73 in Ontario. Big Bear, it is cold out there, 32 degrees, so right at that freezing mark. And then up the Fraser Park area, across the Grapevine region, we are seeing those temperatures dip below that sub-freezing line as well. Now, temperatures tonight, some of us will continue to have those 20s and 30s across the mountains, but also into some of our deserts. Our interior sections across not just the LA Basin, but into the Inland Empire, the San Fernando Valley, the Santa Clarita Valley, we are expecting to see upper 40s to the low 50s also along the coast for tonight. Now, our temperatures getting into tomorrow for the LA area around that 8 a.m. hour, we will have made a rebound into the upper 50s, but we're not expecting to stop there for tomorrow. We are going to bring it up a notch. We're talking mid to upper 80s, not just for our Friday, but we're going to roll into the first half of our weekend that way as well. We will see a little bit of a break temperature-wise heading into the end of our weekend and the early parts of next week, but turns right back around. We will have heat back in place. So it's a little bit of a boomerang type of action happening here. I'll be going more into detail about some of our other climates across the area coming up a little bit later. But for now, Marla, back to you.
All right, Star, thanks. Coming up, a bizarre scene at a Brooklyn detention center. Prosecutors say a man showed up claiming to have weapons and paperwork to free a very famous inmate. Tonight, a man is under arrest for allegedly impersonating an FBI agent in what police say was a bizarre attempt to free accused killer Luigi Mangione. Federal prosecutors say last night, 36-year-old Mark Anderson of Minnesota showed up to the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, where Mangione is being held. He allegedly told the staffer he had weapons as well as paperwork authorizing the release of a specific inmate. Prosecutors say the weapons he was carrying was a pizza cutter. There it is. And above it, you see it, a barbecue fork. Can't make this stuff up. All right, now here's Laura Diaz.
I'm Laura Diaz in Santa Clarita. A terrible tragedy 1,000 miles away has this entire community in mourning. That story coming up.
Also, days after a shocking attack on Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, authorities reveal what strange liquid was sprayed, what he said to her before the assault.
Live across SoCal, this is LA Live News Tonight on Fox 11 Plus.
A deadly crash in Colorado involving a girls' hockey team from Santa Clarita. The driver of their van was killed. 8 people were injured this morning on Interstate 70 in Silverthorne. This is about an hour west of Denver. Fox 11's Laura Diaz, she's live there in Santa Clarita with reaction from friends in the community. Laura?
Yes, Marla, this is the home rink of the SC Flyers. As you can imagine, everyone is simply devastated after hearing the news. We can tell you this, that the van carried members of that team. These are young girls, about 12 years old, and we know that one of the fathers of the young girls died in that accident.
Honestly, my stomach just kind of dropped, not knowing who was in that van. Who it affected, and we are a very close-knit community, so everybody kind of knows everybody.
I can't imagine what this family is going through. I'm a hockey mom, and we are here, probably about 4 times a week, 3 to 4 times a week, and my heart just goes out to this family.
Hockey is a family. We're all a family, and our family prayers go out to all those kids, and obviously the families affected.
These images show the destruction. According to officials, a Sprinter van carrying the girls was involved in a fatal 3-vehicle crash with a snowplow. The occupants of the van were players and adults affiliated with the 12 and under girls hockey team. Now, the Santa Clarita Flyers were on their way to compete in a tournament. 10 people were in the van. All the children were treated and released when they were taken to a hospital. We were told that a total of 8 were taken. The fatality was the father of one of those girls. Officials said the plow truck traveling westbound on Interstate 70 lost control, traveled through the median, and plowed into several vehicles, including the one transporting the team. The van ended up on its side down an embankment. Now, back in Santa Clarita, there were flowers and a hockey stick that were placed out in front of the rink here. Families took the loss very hard. They are tight-knit. They talk about the fact that they come here maybe 4 or 5 times a week to practice, so they all know each other. Santa Clarita, of course, is a bedroom community. A lot of people move out here specifically because they want their children, their families, to have a tight-knit external community, if you will, so that they can feel like almost like they're living back in the 50s or 60s. So they took it hard today, and Marla, you can only imagine what this soccer facility felt like inside, and also just the families trying to explain a terrible loss to children who were so very young. Laura Diaz reporting live from Santa Clarita, sending it back to you. Marla?
Cannot even begin to imagine the difficulty of that situation, Laura. Looking ahead, I mean, you pointed out that 10 people were in the van. There are other players who are presumably made it to the destination. What does that look like? I would assume the game is called off.
I don't know about the future of that tournament.
Okay.
I do know that some of the players, I was told, who were in the air were actually learning about the accident while they were still en route. So, you know, the whole thing is tragic. It's just so hard for any family, but this tight-knit group of athletes and their parents and the kids, they all know each other. A lot of healing is going to have to take place.
Really? Okay. Laura, thanks so much. Now we do have some new details in that deadly apartment explosion in Bell Gardens. A second person died today at a hospital. He has been identified as 24-year-old Christopher Benitez. He was the brother of 13-year-old Carlos Hernandez, who died in the initial blast. Investigators say it appears someone in the apartment was assembling a pipe bomb type device using explosive powder when it detonated Tuesday.
It was a huge shockwave of an explosion, and some of that explosion was actually captured on Ring video, which you have also shown. It would take more than a small amount. It would take a larger amount of that combined powder to cause such a great explosion.
Investigators say an 11-year-old boy who was visiting at the time of the explosion was treated for minor injuries and released from the hospital. Several families had to be evacuated from the damaged building. Inspectors are working to determine whether they can safely return. The family has set up this page on GoFundMe. It's now raising funds to cover funeral expenses as they navigate this difficult time. A burglary suspect gave up after staying inside a Norwalk gun store for 7 hours. Skyfox over the scene this morning. The break-in at Turner's Outdoorsman gun store on Firestone Boulevard was reported about 3 a.m. Officials say the suspect got in through a vent on the roof. Crisis negotiators and the Sheriff's Special Enforcement Bureau were called in. No one was hurt, and the situation ended without trouble. New details to a story we first brought you last night. Several TSA employees dining in Linwood were surrounded and harassed by a group of people who thought they were ICE agents. The TSA workers called the Sheriff's Department for help when the anti-ICE protesters swarmed the restaurant. Well, a spokesperson from the Department of Homeland Security issued a statement saying, in part, DHS employs more than 260,000 Americans in a wide range of missions critical to keeping America safe, and politicians must stop fanning the flames of hatred and vitriol and allow DHS employees to do their jobs without having to fear for their personal safety. The TSA also weighed in saying, quote, the mob believed these TSA officials were ICE agents. They were not. But the message to Americans is clear. Agitators and politicians who fan the flames of hatred are endorsing violence against every Department of Homeland Security employee. Tonight, strong reaction from the Armenian community after Dr. Oz called Los Angeles the epicenter for health care fraud. The head of Medicare and Medicaid blaming Russian and Armenian mafia. Fox 11's Susan Hirasuna reports.
In this 4-block area in Los Angeles, there are 42 hospices. So either there are a lot of people dying here, or you've got a fraudulent activity that is so good that everyone wants to get in on it.
The former TV Dr. Oz, now the head of the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid, drove down Victory Boulevard in Van Nuys.
So you can see these are medical buildings. They've got Cyrillic writing, Russian, Armenian writing. On both sides, there's lots of action.
Oz claims the healthcare fraud in LA has cost the federal government $3.5 billion.
It's run quite a bit of it by the Russian Armenian mafia. You notice the lettering and language behind me is of that dialect.
Discussed it?
That's Edward Akbarian on his office balcony. But in Dr. Oz's video, he's blurred, and he feels it's made to look as if he's part of the alleged healthcare fraud. In fact, he sells real estate.
It's neighborhood. We know each other. Everybody knows each other, Never heard anything like that. And I was surprised. I was very, surprised when I heard that.
On Google Maps, each dot suggests the concentration of hospice companies, but because Oz never names even one, it's difficult to figure out if there are indeed sham businesses here. The Armenian Bar Association sent letters to Senator Adam Schiff and Representative Laura Friedman to applaud Oz's mission to root out fraud, but not at the expense of Armenian Americans.
To vilify an entire ethnicity, a community that's very proud to be American, by the way, it is truly beyond the pale and completely unconstitutional.
And this image some find particularly harmful. The bakery is actually closed, but the nearby market is owned by the same person, and the claim is that the Dr. Oz video is harming his business.
A business is down now 30%. Poor guy, small businessman, saying they're somehow connected to the mob around hospice. Well, hospice, we've been after that for years and years before Oz was even on the scene.
The motives are to hit the Armenian community in LA, and we will not stand for it.
In Van Nuys, Susan Hirasuna, Fox 11 News.
Well, a man is charged with assaulting Congresswoman Ilhan Omar at an event Tuesday in Minneapolis. Authorities say 55-year-old Anthony Kazmierczak sprayed Omar with a mixture of water and apple cider vinegar. According to court docs, he told her, quote, "You're splitting Minnesotans apart." His attorney says he was not taking his medication at the time because of health issues, including Parkinson's disease. A judge has ordered him to remain in custody and receive medical care. LA City Councilman Curran Price will stand trial on public corruption charges. A judge ruled there's enough evidence for the case to proceed after a 6-day hearing. The 75-year-old Price faces 12 felony counts, including embezzlement, conflict of interest, and perjury. If convicted, he could face over 11 years in custody. Price, who's represented District 9 in South LA since 2013, denies the charges. Arraignment is set for March 13th.
We face an inflection point in California. We need someone who will fight for our values and someone who will fix our problems.
That is San Jose Mayor Matt Mahan. Today he launched his campaign to become California's next governor. Mahan is a moderate Democrat who's been successful tackling homelessness and crime since being elected in 2022. Political insiders note Mahan's name is largely unknown outside of the Bay Area. Greg Lee from our sister station, KTVU, has the profile of the newest candidate for governor.
I'm running for governor of California because we can do better.
San Jose Mayor Matt Mahan ended months of speculation and officially entered the crowded race for governor. Joined by his family, Mahan spoke to reporters in front of an interim housing site in the city.
California doesn't just need better ideas, it needs a government that works.
The mayor's been a vocal critic of Governor Newsom and the state for not doing more on issues including housing, homelessness, and the implementation of Tough on Crime Prop 36. Mahan, a moderate Democrat, believes his solution-based approach in San Jose would be effective in Sacramento.
In San Jose, we've reduced unsheltered homelessness by nearly 1/3. We became the safest big city in America last year. We've solved 100% of homicides nearly 4 years running.
Mahan enters an unsettled race without a clear frontrunner and more than half a dozen Democrats jockeying for position with many undecided voters. The mayor says his plan will work to address the big issues Californians are facing.
What is demonstrably what you do day one if elected to help people with their pocketbooks?
Look, the biggest driver of cost is unaffordable housing. And the way that we're going to tackle that is by reforming government to get out of the way and enable us to build homes for people again.
Mahan has avoided attacking the president directly, often saying results are the best resistance. Amid violence and unrest in cities like Minneapolis, he said he's not afraid to stand up to the administration and file lawsuits if needed.
I've been very critical of the president's and this administration's actions in Minnesota and LA and elsewhere in the way that they are carrying out immigration enforcement. I think it is sowing fear and distrust in the community and in our government, and there's a better way.
With just over 4 months to the primary, Mahan faces the challenge of getting his name and message out beyond the Bay Area and fast.
I think when people hear that message, we're going to see a groundswell of support because I know California can be better, and I want to make sure all Californians understand what it's going to take to deliver that better future for all of our residents.
Reporting in San Jose, Greg Lee, Fox 11 News.
Well, Fox 11 is co-hosting a gubernatorial debate. We are teaming up with our sister station up there in the Bay Area, KTVU, and also the Black Action Alliance to host the race for California governor debate scheduled for Tuesday, February 3rd in San Francisco. You can watch it live on Fox 11 from 5:30 to 8. Stream it on the Fox local app. I will serve as one of the 3 moderators. And we do want to hear from you. You can scan the QR code to submit a question for the candidates. We have more information online at foxla.com. Well, a consumer alert now. Almost 2,000 products were recalled after the FDA found rodent and bird contamination at a distribution facility. This is for grocery items like Cheerios, Skittles, and Pringles. Also pet food like Purina dog chow and Purina cat chow. And over-the-counter items like Advil, Benadryl, and Claritin. The full list is on the FDA's website. The FDA urges consumers to destroy affected products immediately and not return them. Refunds are available. The products distributed in Indiana, Minnesota, and North Dakota may pose health risks like salmonella, though no illnesses have been reported. Up next, Tesla is making a bold move at its Fremont factory, shifting from cars to cutting-edge robots. Coming up, we'll tell you why Elon Musk says these machines could transform the economy and how they're learning from you.
3, 2, 1. Engines full power. And liftoff. Go SpaceX, go Starlink.
SpaceX Falcon 9 blasts off from the Vandenberg Space Force Base in California this morning. The company marked a milestone, launching the 11,000th Starlink satellite sent into space. Today's mission added another 25 satellites into low Earth orbit in its mega constellation. Well, Tesla is shifting gears up north at its Fremont factory. The company announced it will stop making its Model S and Model X vehicles next quarter to focus on producing its Optimus robots. CEO Elon Musk says the factory will be retooled to build up to 1 million Optimus robots annually. These robots, called Optimus 3, are designed to learn tasks by observing humans, listening to instructions, or even watching videos. Musk believes they could have a major impact on the U.S. economy. Consumer advocate Chris Markowski talked to us about the possible reasons for this decision.
Reality is that the autonomous driving is coming sooner rather than later. He understands that Canada just signed a deal with China, which is going to allow Chinese EVs, the BYDs, into Canada. Obviously, they're going to be tariffed, but they're still going to be pretty inexpensive.
Tesla reported its lowest profit since the pandemic after losing its title as the world's biggest EV maker to Chinese rival BYD. All right, let's check in with Star Harvey. You're talking about the heat. We're cranking it up this weekend, the final weekend of January as we move into February on Sunday.
Yeah, that's right. And, you know, we're coming in strong here throughout this week, the last official week of this month. We have had our temperatures above their averages. In fact, our lowest temperature this week was in the 70s. And if you were outdoors today across the LA area, you did feel the heat. We clocked in at 82 for the downtown LA area. So that heat that you feel out there or felt earlier today, we are expecting that it will continue. We are talking temps above their normal, not just for tomorrow, but also to get our weekend started. With our high pressure system in place, we are also looking at that northeast flow. So our Santa Ana winds continuing through tomorrow. It is mainly going to be across some of our mountain communities, although we may see it across some of the other region. As far as things cooling down around here, it won't be until we arrive at Sunday into the start of next week. Doesn't last long. We do have a secondary system that will bring in another round of potentially 80-degree temperatures. So you'll see downtown we hit 82 degrees today. Our normal is 68. You can see we got really close to that record temperature of 85 degrees, just about a 3-degree difference. I do believe that as we push into tomorrow, but also the start of our weekend, we will see temperatures closer to that mid-80 mark. Now, downtown's not the only section of our region here that did clock in the 80s. We had some 80s down into the Orange County region, our low deserts, but also across portions of Ventura County. The San Fernando Valley also had some 80-degree temperatures across the area today. Now, here's a play-by-play of our future cast here. It's a simulation of our radar where we do have our high pressure not letting up. In fact, it will be in place at least until we start this weekend. So, of course, let's go ahead and check in on some forecasted highs, but also some record temperatures for tomorrow. So tomorrow, the record temperature is set at 83 degrees for the downtown LA area. That was back in 1992. We are bringing it up to about 85 degrees for tomorrow. So if we do hit that number, we will have beat out that old record. We'll also have areas like Long Beach that will possibly tie records. 85 degrees was back in 2003. You'll see tomorrow we are shooting for that same number. We do have a list of other areas that did have temperatures for records in the 80s. We are also forecasting those 80s tomorrow. Expect some winds to come along with us for tomorrow, especially across the mountain area. We'll be warmer through the first half of the weekend before Sunday as well as Monday arrives, and we do get the decrease in those temps backing down into the 70s. Back to you.
All right, Star, thanks. Now to the latest in the Russia-Ukraine war. President Trump says Russian President Vladimir Putin agreed to stop strikes on Ukraine for 1 week. Fox's Caroline Elliott has that story.
I personally asked President Putin not to fire on Kiev and the cities and towns for a week during this. It's extraordinary. It's not just like cold, it's extraordinary cold.
And the first cabinet meeting of the year, President Trump sharing a glimmer of hope for Ukraine.
A lot of people said, don't waste the cold, you're not going to get that. And he did it, and we're very happy that they did it.
And Kyiv, temperatures are below freezing. And Russian strikes on the city's power plants have knocked out power for thousands of Ukrainians. On Monday, more than 1,300 apartment buildings were without heat.
I have a small child. You have to keep her warm.
We have to stand firm, get through the winter, and then things will go our way.
The pause in fighting is a rare moment of relief for Ukrainian President Zelensky.
Thank you, America, for the efforts to halt strikes on energy. We hope the United States can make this happen.
After more than 4 years at war, U.S. officials hope this is the beginning of something more.
I think the people of Ukraine are now hopeful and expectant that we're going to deliver a peace deal sometime soon.
U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff said there's been more progress in the last 3 months than in the last 4 years, and says more talks are scheduled for next week. In New York, Caroline Elliott, Fox News.
Next, shopping, searching, and saving. Google's Chrome browser just got smarter. We'll show you how its new AI feature can even hunt down discount codes.